everybody? Welcome to Grounded, my Q&A live stream. I always do a little countdown there because little delay in going live when I click the button, and I don't know what you're going to see from before I was actually ready. Some good news on this stream. Well, let me do the little intro here first. So, Grounded, today is April 29th, 2020. This is Podcastable. If you can't finish the stream, or you don't want to sit here through the whole stream, or you want to listen to it later, you can listen to it in the car if you're driving anywhere these days. And it should be available on any podcasting platform you want. All of my notes that I use will be in what? Said 9:30. All of my notes. Did I say the wrong time? No, I said 9. All of the notes that I use will be in the description of the video. After I'm done here, I will edit the YouTube video, and then in the podcast I put the notes too. I don't know how helpful those are. If you listen on I have never heard from anyone that listens to the podcast. So if you're here right now, or you can message me if you're listening on the podcast right now, if you can DM me later when you have a chance and let me know how the podcast is, I would appreciate it. Do you use the notes? Do you even see the notes? How's the sound on the podcast, all that stuff. So I'd appreciate that feedback. Some good news for the stream before we get into the Tesla stuff. The delay should be a lot less. So I'm sorry I forget your name, but somebody's been asking me to put a little clock that has the time so that I can see the delay. But the delay should only be about 9 seconds right now. So we should have a lot easier time with the back and forth conversation with having a much less delay. So I'm looking forward to that. So let's get into it. So today I'm going to start a lot of, with the earnings call. Really interesting. If you didn't listen to it, that's all right. I will give you, the important parts. And we will, thank you, Nicholas thinks my hat is cool. So I will give you the parts I thought were cool and important from the earnings call. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about that I don't cover, just let me know. Hold on here. Okay. So let's get started. So earnings, of course, this happened just about an hour ago, hour and a half. It ended. I listened to 99% of it. I got kind of busy at the end there and had to turn it off. He pretty much, the last thing I heard him say was the robotaxi is next year. So, and for questions, try to hold them until I'm done. Now that the delay is gone, pretty much it's a lot less of a delay. Cool shirt. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. This shirt, if you don't know, this is my merch. Self-driving car instructor. This is more true now than ever with this new stop signs and stoplights ability. Hello, Bam, the Tesla man. Hello, Clarence. I am a shareholder, yes, but not very many shares, maybe 15 shares or something like that. All right, so let me get through the news and then I will be conversing with y'all. So earnings were really good. This is the first positive gap in quarter one. I don't know all the technicals, but first positive quarter one. That's awesome. 20% gross margin while ramping 2 products. So even though they're building up Model Y and Model 3 in China, they're ramping Model 3 in China and they're ramping Model Y in Fremont, they were still positive, still had positive income, which is really amazing news because as you may or may not remember, when Model 3 was ramping up, they were losing money during that time. And pretty much with every ramp, right? With Model S, Model X, when they were ramping those, meaning increasing production, they were losing money during that time. And then they became profitable once they ramped, but then they'd start the next product. Now they're starting the next product and they're still making money. So that's really good. Really, really good news, especially in quarter one. It's a slow quarter for everybody, especially auto. Tesla produced more Model Ys in the first quarter of Model Y production than the first 2 quarters of Model 3 production combined. So let's just to make up number, I don't know what the numbers were, but to make up numbers, let's say they made 1,000 Model Ys in this quarter. That means in quarter 1 and quarter 2 of Model 3 production, they made less than 1,000. So really impressive there. A lot of that has to do, they were talking about with the part similarity, the Model Y. Last number I heard was 70% of parts are shared. I'm assuming that's changed, but I don't know. You called it SatLess, Abraham. Thank you so much. We'll get into SatLess. So I'm so glad that people are calling it that. So a lot of Model Ys are being produced quickly, which is great. It's already a profitable car, which they're not even, doing anything yet. Thank you so much, Clarence, for the sticker. How's it going? It is going great. Thank you. I appreciate the sticker. So moving on, auto stop. So he talked a bit about this during the call. The car is now much more capable, but hold on. So auto stop car is capable of much more, is what Elon said. But they're only giving the functionality they are really, really confident with, and they think gives a safety improvement, which I snickered a little bit at that, but it's okay. Data from over 1 million intersections a month right now. They are getting data from over 1 million intersections per month. From, I don't know if it's from this ability. He didn't say it's just this ability, or overall just from all the kind of shadow stuff they do. But he said soon it's going to be over 1 billion intersections a month. And okay, he said soon it's going to be over 1 billion intersections a month from that they're going to be collecting from people driving around. So I really think that, in my video I made about this ability, we had a lot of mess ups, honestly. Like, it was screwing up kind of all over the place. And you are very lucky. What? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. So I think this ability is going to improve really quickly. I think these mistakes are going to be gone fast. That's my thinking. So I think like within 6 months, this ability is going to be insanely impressive. So I always have to check my watch. Okay, we're good there. All confirmations training the neural net. So he confirmed, there's some controversy here, and I don't know if, now some people have changed their minds. But there was some controversy that our inputs are actually helping with anything, and he confirmed on the call that all confirmations are training the neural net. So if you're driving a Tesla and you come up to a green light and it starts to slow down and you say, nope, we're going through this green light, you're helping. You've made it better. You've made it better with that. So that's really exciting. I'm getting a little lost. I have so many notes here. I'm trying to stay focused here and not get messed up. So soon, he said soon, through intersections with no confirmations and turns, possible to do a drive. He's estimating it will be possible to do a drive home to work with no interventions by the end of the year. He said you can almost do this with the alpha that Elon is using right now. So he talked about how there's different levels of experimental autopilot in different people's cars. And he's using the alpha, and he said he almost can do this. I'm surprised that he said almost. I'm surprised he didn't just say, oh, my car can do it right now. Glad he's being honest, but I would have thought his car can sometimes get him from home to work with no interventions. I'm surprised that he can't do that yet. But we're getting there. That'll be some fun Tesla challenges. It'll be scary. I'm trying to think of how to incorporate this new ability into a Tesla challenge. Because it can't do turns, I'd still have to do a lot, and the whole point of doing a Tesla challenge is me not interacting, but maybe I can see like how many interventions, I would need from home to work or something like that. EPA. Okay. So he talked about how this was pretty funny. The Model S range is currently 391 miles EPA rated. And he talked about how the EPA left their test Model S on overnight with the door open and like the keys in the car. And so it lost 2% sitting there overnight. And so that's why it's the 391 and they didn't get 400. And so he said once the EPA is open again, they're going to redo the test to get the 400. That is hilarious. And if that is true, I am very surprised by that. Why couldn't they just have like plugged it in for, a half hour before going or something? It's kind of a weird story, but if that's true, that's really funny. It's just ridiculous. So currently the Model Y has this two casts, and I don't know, I don't know all that much about it, but basically it's like a revolutionary manufacturing step that they've taken. And if you want to know more, watch the Sandy Munro videos. He's literally ripping apart the Model Y and going through all the parts, but it brings down cost, it brings down weight. It's really good. And he said eventually it's going to be a one-piece cast, which nobody does. He said nobody does the two-piece casting. And my question is, are they going to bring this stuff to the Model 3? I assume they will, and then Model 3 range is going to go, skyrocketing, because Model 3 has the older, inefficient build, which will be really good. They are continuing the Model Y full ramp worldwide. They're not slowing anything down as of this conference call. Somebody did ask what their cash was looking like at the end of April, and they didn't comment, which I think is fair. It's a quarter one call. the end of April. April is not part of quarter one. So, these numbers are really good, but we only had a couple weeks of shutdown in quarter one. So thank you guys. I'm reading your comments. I will be with you soon. I am almost through all my notes here, and then we will be having a conversation, which is my favorite part of doing all this stuff. He said pedal to the metal on new products and expanding. So they're not, as of this call, they're not letting up on investments, on spending, anything like that. They're ready to keep growing, which is great. Tesla was on track for a record of deliveries if there wasn't a shutdown. So really disappointing. That would be insane to have record deliveries in quarter one, but that's all right. Actually, you know what? Now that I said that out loud, he probably meant a quarter one record is what I would assume he meant. But I was thinking overall record. Then he talked about, Elon talked about a full self-driving subscription. He said they'll offer it towards the end of the year. That's something people have really been asking for. Me personally, not something I want, because I always like my monthly things that I pay for to be less and less. I don't want another thing to subscribe to. But if it makes sense, if like you trade in your car all the time, you like to get a new car every year or two, it would kind of make sense in that regard. It's a good option for people that want it. It's not for me, but options are good. He said you'll still be able to buy it. You don't have to subscribe, so that's awesome. Tesla's reducing the standard range Model 3 price in China. There's a electric vehicle subsidy there that the Model 3 wasn't qualifying for, and now they'll qualify. I don't know if that'll allow all trims to then qualify or only the standard range, the cheapest model to qualify. I'm not sure. I know in Canada they reduced the price of the lowest trim so they could qualify, and for Canada's incentives, and it applied to all trims. So you could get a performance with the incentive because Tesla offered a cheaper version. So I'm not sure if that's the same in China or not. They're speculating third week of May, or Elon is speculating third week of May for Battery Day. I'm so excited for that. He said if they can do it in Texas, that's where they're going to do it. So which, kind of, in my opinion, confirms that the next gigafactories in Texas, as he's been hinting at, but we'll see. If not, they'll have it in California. It was supposed to be in New York, though, so I don't know. We'll see. What is this note? Deferred is $600 million from... Oh, this was an interesting note. So when Tesla gets paid for full self-driving, they can't put it all the money. Wow, the delay is so good. I see that you responding to what I'm saying like right away. I'm so excited to talk with you guys on this one. I almost done, just a couple more things. So deferred, so when somebody pays for full self-driving, they cannot put all of that money into revenue. They can't say, oh, we made this money, because they're not delivering all the features. So they put, right now, he said they're putting 50% into deferred revenue, which when they deliver a new feature, then they can reassess and they can move from deferred revenue to revenue. And so it can make a quarter look amazing. Thank you, Nicholas, best mod, because you're here holding down the lines. I just started a fight. Oh, thank you, J Sal. Oh, for the baby. J Sal feeding the baby. I really appreciate that. She's hungry, very hungry. So they have $600 million deferred right now, which you can do some math and kind of guess at how many full self-drivings have been bought. You can't do it perfectly because the price changes all the time. But if you say full self-driving is $7,000, that's 85,000 full self-drivings that have been purchased. I'm sure the number's much higher than that because it used to be cheaper. But yeah, so pretty interesting to know. 600 million is just waiting there for them to roll out more features. And because they rolled out SAT-LAS, stopping at traffic lights and stop signs, because they rolled out SAT-LAS in quarter two, they will be able to move some of that deferred into actual revenue for quarter two, which will help, especially if, things don't open up soon. Somebody asked how many gigafactories they'll have in 5 years. Elon's answer was just several more. And the next one will be announced next month in the US, which is May, which is when he said Battery Day will be. So they'll probably announce it during Battery Day. And then Robotaxi is next year, so that's delayed. It was supposed to be the end of 2020 they would have Robotaxi, but now he didn't sound very sure on any of it, but he said next year. So whatever. My mug. Okay, two more. So that's earnings. That was what I found. There was a lot. I mean, the whole earnings was interesting. If there's anything else you want to talk about, we're about to get into me talking to you. And I'm sorry I'm not scrolling back through everything you've said. So you can, when I tell you, we'll start, having conversation, because there's really no delay now. It's not about 9 seconds. I was testing it. So the last two things I have, which are not earnings related, possible Model Y air suspension. So that was from, again, Sandy Monroe. Is oh, Ben, I'm so sorry. Just rewatch the beginning. Ben said he missed the earnings stuff. Rewatch it when we're done. I went over it, excuse me, pretty quick, and it's interesting stuff. So possible Model Y air suspension. I guess when Sandy Monroe was pulling the Model Y apart, he found. I haven't seen. I have so many things on my watch later that I need to watch, and I'm just. It keeps back. I don't have time to watch all this stuff, and I want to watch all the Sandy Monroe stuff. I have Third Row podcast stuff I want to watch. I have from other YouTubers I want to watch, other Tesla YouTubers, and it's just all piling up. But he found some parts, and he says it looks like Model Y might get air suspension. Is that? And then I want to talk about the new SAT-LAS ability. I call it that because stopping at traffic lights and stop signs, that's what Tesla calls the ability. I made a video about it. Of course, you probably saw it was on a few different blogs, along with a lot of other... along with who you can't watch my videos at 2x speed. You can, oh yeah, you're saying to catch up on my watch later. Yes, I watch most of my videos at 1.75 or 2x speed, almost everything, unless somebody talks really fast like I do. So this new ability, for stopping at the traffic lights and stop signs. So I made a video about it. A lot of YouTubers did. It was on a lot of blogs. And it's cool. It's weird. I wasn't as excited as I thought I would be. And, you know, like going and editing that video, when I got to the first stop sign, I'm like, all right, here it is. It's stopping at the stop sign. And I don't know, like, I thought I would be way more kind of hyped over it. It is exciting and I love it and I've been using it. Just a tiny little personal note. I've been trying to use our Equinox more. So we have an Equinox and a Model 3, and the Equinox is a lease, and we like never use it, especially now with the shutdown. So I've been trying to take that to work to put some miles on it and save the miles on my Model 3. But now I got this new ability, and I'm like, forget that Equinox. I'm driving my Tesla every day. So I will try. I'm going to probably go back to the Equinox. But I've been using the Model 3, testing out this ability. It's a lot of fun to play with responsibly. And I have a video hopefully coming out in the morning. I'm going to have to edit it after I finish this. Kind of talking about the stuff this ability does really well, showing examples of things it's really good at, and then showing its weaknesses and where we need improvements. And, you know, I approached it as neutral as I could, like I do most things. So that should be a really good video. Okay, I'm coming to you guys now. Hello, We Back Tesla. I'm not making videos because I don't want to add to your watching schedule. Wow, that is so considerate of you. All right, I'm going to go back in the chat just a tiny bit. And see some of these things you guys are talking about. I'm sure he'll gladly answer that once he gets through his notes. Bam, Tesla Man, what is your favorite Tesla model? YSX3 or Cybertruck? Well, Cybertruck I think would be my favorite, but of currently available, I think Model X is actually my favorite. I mean, it's still more efficient than a gas car, obviously, by far, but I'm so used to the Model 3 efficiency now. When I drove that Model X, the efficiency was so bad, it kind of hurt. It was like going back to a gas car. If Elon is putting 50% of full self-driving money to deferred revenue, then is full self-driving only worth $3,500 currently? Abraham, that's kind of a good point. I think we're paying for the future potential, and Tesla doesn't want to put it on their revenue because they haven't delivered it, right? It's like putting pre-orders on your revenue, right? When everybody pre-ordered the Model 3 for $1,000, they didn't count that as money they made because they didn't deliver the Model 3 yet. So I think it's just more to stay transparent and honest with their money. My mug is funny. Yep, I like my mug. I got full self-driving for $5,000 1 year ago. Yeah, that's what I paid, $5,000. Yep, I got a lot of water in here. You know, I do a lot of talking, so I need a lot of water. And I pretty much finished this thing by the time we're done. Oh yeah, Terrafactory. Yes, thank you, Jay Saul. Elon mentioned they'll probably start calling them Terrafactories now because they said with each gigafactory they build, they're getting bigger and bigger. So that's cool. It's double the deferred revenue divided by 7,000. Yeah, McMoo, that's what I did, but it wasn't always 7,000. So if you do a smaller number, because it used to be 5,000, it used to be, some people got it for 3,000, you know, there's some people paid 8,000. It's been changing speed or changing price. Okay, so let me put this over here. Sorry. Okay, I'm about caught up. I'm not making videos. I can't wait till Elon releases the 1.75x speed. I don't know what you mean by that. It seems like it is something to use with radar cruise control. Yeah, JSOL. It's if you want to use it, it's like you got to do a lot of work, but it's worth it for me. Okay, green pad. Chris, what functionality are you looking forward to having after stoplights and stop signs? I think just all the general, whatever we need for me to do less driving. Honestly, that's kind of the whole point, right? Is that this is supposed to be taking away more and more of the things I need to do. So I guess immediately I'll be excited about going through the green lights, but it's kind of terrifying. Honestly, it's kind of terrifying because even when you go through a green light, like it's going to be many a year before I'm not paying attention while I'm behind the wheel of this car. Even when I'm driving fully in a non-Tesla and I go through a green light, I'm aware of the cross traffic because there's not a big wall there protecting me. Somebody can blow through a red light whenever they want, right? And take you out. So, those kind of things you're aware of even when you're driving. And I guess saying that, to be fair, the Tesla is probably even better at that than I am because it's looking in all directions all the time. But I'm looking forward to going through the green lights. Turning is something that I'm really excited for because the car does it sometimes. I've made it through left turns. I've made it through right turns. Even today on my way home, I did a complete right turn off the highway with autopilot engaged. The car did it. No problem at all. So I'm just looking forward to being better at all these things and a little more confident. But I'm sure there are a lot of functionality and features that are going to be amazing that I'm not even thinking of. Like the adjacent lane speed. I never thought of that. But when it came out, when that adjacent lane speed was given to us, I was like, wow, this actually works pretty well. Well, my initial reaction was, I don't like this. But now that I've used it, I really like it. Ethan, will you get a Tesla Model Y? I do have one reserved, and I've been thinking about it. So believe it or not, I'm going to wash my car probably this weekend. And I'm going to take some pictures to send to Tesla to get a trade-in quote. So I have the Model Y reserved. I'm thinking maybe getting it, but I really want a Cybertruck, and so it's probably not worth the money to get a Model Y right now. It's probably financially smarter to hold the 3 until it's Cybertruck time. TM3 Tesla Model 3 Texas. Only issue I have with SatLAS is I wish they would use regen instead of using brakes. It waits too long to start stopping, in my opinion. Do they think they will make this change? That's a great point, and Autopilot has had that problem always, as far as I've used it, is it uses the brakes a lot more than a human does. We humans are a lot better at using the regen. So I don't know why this is. You think Tesla would be, on top of it with regen to make the cars more efficient. I don't know if it's a limit in its how far it can see, the map data it has. I'm really not sure why it's so aggressive with the braking. I do believe it will get better at regen, though, just because the cars get better at all these little nuances over time. That one hasn't changed for me, though, so it might be a while. But yeah, I'm hopeful that eventually that will get better. Luke, do you think SatLAS sound should be different than the warning takeover sound? That way they can fine-tune the neural network. Luke, that's not a bad idea, but when you turn SatLAS on in the settings, it's on. It's on. You can't do, and I kind of wish you could, you can't do basic autopilot and then SatLAS and then nav on autopilot. SatLAS is either on in the settings or it's off, and you can't turn it on and off while driving. So having a different sound, maybe to keep the human paying attention and doing the right thing, is maybe a good idea. But I'm not sure it's necessary. And you can't make these things too complex. You can't have too much going on. Max, when is it coming to Australia? Well, Elon said before we had it in the US, he said it'll be out in the next few weeks, and the rest of the world hopefully by Q3 or end of Q3, something like that, or in Q3. And everyone's like, oh, cool, it'll be out in the US by the end of the year. And then it came to the US in the next couple weeks. So going off that, I would guess you guys, regulatory stuff pending by the end of Q3. That would be my guess, just based off what Elon said. Ben, Chris, Nick is getting an ego because you said he was best mod. Can you put him in his place? No, he's doing a great job. Chris Creedler, taking delivery of my first Tesla on the 11th after 7 years of waiting. Congratulations. That is amazing, dude. It's going to be so fun. Satin Gray. Will you get a Model Y? I answered that. Steven, plus it's the law. I don't know what you're talking about. Suresh, did you get your bumper fixed? How long was it in the body shop? I have not gotten it fixed. It was gonna go in the body shop end of March, like right when it was either right when our lockdown started in Michigan or right before it started. And I was like, I'm not giving you my car because they wanted me to get a rental. It was only supposed to take a few days. Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure it'll ever get done because they checked it out. There's nothing structural. It's just a tiny bit of paint. So I don't know. I may try to touch it up myself. I mean, heck, at this point, I might just trade it in and like, because nobody cares about a little paint scratch when you trade in a car. I've bought used cars with little scratches like that, and I haven't traded any in like that, but nobody cares about that. So Tai, what's the update on the vaccine? Well, the vaccine I'm working on, it's moving pretty slowly because we're a small company, so I don't have much. I can't tell you much about it, but it's moving slow. Other companies though are moving pretty quick. We have a few companies, I think Pfizer and J&J, I think Johnson & Johnson are saying that they're going to have mass production by the end of Q3 of this year, something like that. Now that doesn't mean the vaccine works, but what they're doing is they're going to make a bunch and then hopefully show that it works, and then they will be ready to distribute it. So that's pretty exciting. Good luck to them and whoever can get it out. That's what we need, Bam, the Tesla man. I'm glad you are still uploading videos during lockdown. Yeah, I'm having fun. You guys are watching them, so I'm good with that. YouTube has been a little better the past few weeks. I think last stream or 2 streams ago I was kind of moping about views not being good. Views are up a little bit now. Revenue is still down because nobody's paying for ads, but that's all right. Jay Sale, you can call me Jake. Well, I would call you Jake, and I'll try, but I might forget. So it's hard for me. I can't keep everybody straight. Abraham, what would you choose, Model Y or Cybertruck? Well, I kind of answered that earlier. Cybertruck. All day I would pick Cybertruck. Just the money and no paint, and I don't know. It just seems like, again, I'm more of a utility person. I want like the tool to do the job, and like I really don't care what it looks like. And I still, to this day, I'm getting used to the Cybertruck, but I still think it looks kind of goofy. But I don't care. I don't buy a car because it looks cool. That's not what a car is for. A car is to drive me around, especially a Tesla is to use the full self-driving and get me to work and hopefully not spend much on fuel and maintenance. And the Cybertruck is that, and that's what I want. A used Model 3 still costs almost the same as a new one. I know, it's crazy. Why would someone buy used instead of a new one? And when do you think used prices will come down? Well, I think used prices are going to start to come down due to the pandemic. I think a lot of stuff's going to get real weird. And I think car prices coming down is one of the effects of that because there will be less buyers. But the fact is the demand for Tesla vehicles is insane. And the Model 3, they confirmed on this earnings call, they don't make enough cars for their orders. They're getting more orders than they're producing, which is a great problem to have to an extent. You don't want 1 million orders and you only can produce 10. That doesn't help you. But if you get 1 million orders and you can produce 900,000, you're killing it. And that's pretty much what's happening here. So used costs aren't going to come down because people want the cars. It's just supply and demand. And, people know that electric cars hold their value. Well, battery used to be a concern, but we all know Tesla batteries are really good now. And the Model 3 has been out for a few years, so we have a few, high mileage Model 3s, and the batteries are looking good. And then the lack of maintenance, moving parts. Electric cars they hold up, so value is not going anywhere. Riley K. I think, Riley, you did something, right? Are you a new patron? I recognize your name. Can you please speculate about when you think that turns will be available for the fleet? Reverse summon. Turns, I think my guess was by the end of the year, Riley, that the car will be able to do right and left turns. And Elon pretty much confirmed that on the earnings call. So I tweeted like 3 days ago, just saying, that I think by the end of the year. So I'm going to just stick with that because I have a much better chance of success. End of the year I think is fair. Reverse summon, I have no idea. I think that's going to be a long time. Reverse summon meaning the car, you can like pull up somewhere and get out and the car will go park itself. Honestly, I think that's going to be a while. As soon as a lot of... Oh, yep, you're answering him. Yes, Riley. All speculation, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. Just to talk about it. Joe W. Turning on lights. Oh, come back. Turning on lights would be great. Also, roundabouts. Yep, I'm excited for that. Roundabouts pretty funny. It doesn't really work, but you can try it. Ben K, was the new 3D style Autopilot version overhaul mentioned? No, Ben K, that's a great point. Nobody asked about the Autopilot overhaul. Nobody talked about it that I heard. So that's disappointing because I think whenever that comes, that's when you're going to start to see the turning, the reverse parking, stuff like that. Well, I don't know, but the auto park, I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I think the turning, doing left turns at lights, right turns at lights, city, navigate on autopilot, I think a lot of that will start to come once we get the rewrite. I think roundabouts are going to be pretty rough. I don't think so, Nick. I think in the beginning, they're just going to be like slow, like too slow. That's my biggest complaint now with the Satlas even. The car is just too slow. And like, it sucks because that's kind of a good thing because it's safe. Like, you don't need to take off from a stop sign or a red light. I mean, it's fun, but you don't need to do that. But when you, like, if I am at a stop sign, okay, most people don't do complete stops, okay? It's wrong. They're breaking the law technically, but it's just not the way most people drive around me. So now when my Tesla makes a complete stop, that's fine. Most people don't care. But then when I hit that little stalk and my car's like, oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Yep. Yep. 3 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. People are like, what the, let's go, get out of my way. And so that's kind of my biggest complaint right now. I have to, and I mean, first world problems. This is like 0th world problems at this point. But I am hitting the accelerator a lot with this ability, which I'm perfectly fine with. I enjoy these features. J Sal, see, you already told me to call you Jake, I think, and I didn't do it. If you are at a red light with a car in front of you, it should resume without having to hit stalk. That's something watching the videos that drives me nuts watching. I know, because that's like a regression, you know. Before, if there was a car in front of you at a red light, the car would stop, obviously, with that car and then continue. Well, now it won't go through the intersection until you hit the stalk. But I think the stalk hitting, I don't know. I don't think the stalk hitting is going to be around very long. That's my guess. Maybe like 3 months. Will not have to hit the stalk anymore. In a green light. From a red light, well, I think red light would be the same as green light, but for a stop sign, I don't know. Chadwick Wood, I'll be paying more attention once they release an advanced summon that isn't just a gimmick. Yeah, Chadwick, you know what? That's another one. I think when the rewrite comes, I think advanced summon is going to, or smart summon is going to get way better. That's my guess. Wash, yes. Don't get the quote, Chris. You know what will happen if you do. Save your money. I'm going to get the quote because, you know, I got a quote a couple months ago and they were paying me like the same as I paid for the car. So that's kind of like a no-brainer. Sam, you think hardware 2.5 will be eligible for subscription and hardware upgrade with it? It's a great question, Sam. I would assume so. Maybe you have to pay some kind of flat fee to get the upgrade and then you can be subscribed. But I don't know. I would think so because they're not going to want to leave anyone out if you're going to offer to pay them. But that could also be an incentive for you to just pay for full self-driving. So I'm not sure. Steven, Steven Korfman, if they can stop it from lane centering at lane merges splits, I'll be pretty happy. Oh my gosh, this is my biggest complaint, and this has been a problem since I got the car. Whenever a lane opens up and it's like, oh, I don't know where to go. Oh my gosh, kills me. And it's like seems like the simplest thing. I don't know anything about coding or self-driving cars or AI. But to me, an outside observer that knows nothing, it seems like the simplest thing. How many Teslas do you have? Only one. I wish I had 2, but oh well. More superchargers in the UP. Are they coming, or are you just wanting them? Yes, Brianacci. Yeah, more superchargers in the UP would be nice. Wow, I'm farther behind than I thought. You guys are chatting up a storm. McMoo, I'm still amazed with any Autopilot or self-driving related features. My new Roomba just got stuck and couldn't make its way out from under a table and chairs just now. That is hilarious and such a good point. You know what? This stuff is amazing. I use it pretty much every day, and so I have to kind of step back and tell myself, yo, your car just drove you 25 miles on the highway and you did literally nothing but sit there with your hand on the wheel. It is amazing. And you know what? I've said this before. Humans just get we get used to stuff fast. And that's like kind of one of our strengths is we can adapt really, really quickly. But it makes us lose sight of of the, the things we have in our life that are really important and that we're lucky to have, we get used to them. And so you want more and more and more. And so I step back and I go, oh my gosh, my car's driving itself right now. So you got to make sure you stay excited about that stuff. Will, do you design your own merchandise? I think a t-shirt with a filthy Tesla on it would be pretty cool. Like this one I did because it's just words. I'm not all that creative or artistic. My buddy Sam, who makes the I'm gonna do this, don't hate me, but my buddy Sam, who does the music for the channel, he oh cool, check it out. That's what I'm wearing right now. And this shirt is so true with the new abilities. So my buddy Sam that does the music for the channel. I mean, he does his own music and he lets me use it. He designed a couple of the shirts that are on the website, on the Shopify. So, yeah, if he could design something like that, I don't have the abilities, but, Kurt. Oh, Kurt, what's up? I still have not met you. It's probably never going to happen. Maybe next year. On M59 yesterday, car tried stopping twice and there was no lights or sign through it. Screamed there was. Has this happened to you? Kurt, yes, that is in my next video. You'll see it. We have these things above the highway that have either a red arrow or a green arrow or a red X, and the car confuses that on the highway going 80 miles an hour for traffic lights, which it doesn't slam on the brakes or anything, but it starts to slow down. It's not good. M3 Tesla. I'm concerned about full self-driving seeing cross traffic at intersections. It cannot look left and right while entering the intersections is going to be very hard. The answer for this is going to the intersection and poking out and turning a bit and using the repeater cameras to look backwards. That's the answer for that, and that's what Elon has said. It works. So, JSAL. Make a driver profile called Sat Last Test. Yeah, that's a good point. Is I should have my because I'm going to be turning this off when wife's in the car, that's for sure. I mean, oh my gosh, it'd be such a good video to have her use it. She would be like, what the heck is going on with this stupid thing? But I probably won't use it while she's in the car because she won't like it. Luke, that makes sense. I don't own a Tesla yet, but from the vids, it seems like drivers don't know what to do, become nervous when they heard the warning sound. Humans just need some training. Thank you for the answer. Of course, Luke. Goodbye, Bam. And yeah. I mean, they'll get used to it. I don't know. I don't know if you need, I don't know if you need a different sound, honestly, but they do have a different sound for nav on autopilot versus normal autopilot. I don't think it's necessary. Aaron. Oh, Aaron from, are you the Aaron from Tesla Talks? Thoughts on Elon's rant about stay-at-home orders? Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. He is obviously not feeling good about this. You got to look at it from his perspective. He's built up this company over the past 10 years. They're finally profitable over and over again, quarter over quarter. And then this stupid virus comes and screws up everything. Now, I think he's being I think it's negative. I think he's not sending the right message. If he really believes the data is showing we can open up and have a little more activity, maybe not a full open up, he should put that a little more eloquently and maybe say, look, especially in because California's not doing too bad right now. He said, look, California is not that bad. Please let us open the factory. We will have all our employees wear masks. We'll do health screenings. We'll give, 1 month sick time to anyone that wants it. You know what I mean? Like if he said stuff like that, people would be like, heck yeah, let's get these people back to work. People want to work. People don't want to be losing their jobs and sitting at home and, not making money. So I think if he put it the right way, I think people would be more receptive. Now, him going nuts on the call, I mean, that's kind of him, and I was laughing at it, but yeah, it's not the right message. And I mean, you probably know my thoughts is that this virus is pretty serious, and the data coming out does make it look a little less serious, but you can't argue with the pictures and the videos coming out of the hospitals of like it's, I don't even want to talk about it, but like the dead bodies piling up. Like we're catching up, and like this is with everybody staying home. It's just, the virus is bad. No, it's not killing 10% or 20% of people, but it's killing enough people that I wouldn't want to be infected with it. So, these people that are like, oh, this is open up. All right, you go get infected first. Let me know how it is, because there's some pretty nasty horror stories coming out. The statistics work for the government and they work for the scientists, but statistics don't work for me and you. The current stay-at-home order in Michigan, I think you can have groups of less than 10 people. I can still get infected from one person. So do I want to go hang out with 5 other people? Not really. I don't want to get infected. So the government is giving us this less than 10 people because that's a statistics thing for them. They think if less than 10 people are hanging out at a time, they can keep the curve flat. So yeah, I went off a little bit, but that's how I feel. Psst, your name is Psst. I can't say that. Armendito. I really wish I had a good PC to stream just like you. Yeah, I built my computer. I'm looking at new towers. I have a full tower and it's huge, and I would like a new small tower, but probably won't do it. What mods to your Model 3 have you done? John B. That's a lot of stuff. Honestly, I get a lot of products from sponsors that will send them to me and ask me to review them or make a video about them. So most of them are from that, but I have like the auto open and close frunk from Hand Show, which I like. It's a little expensive in my opinion, and the install instructions are terrible, but it's cool once you have it. I have new wheels that I really like. I have a whole playlist, actually. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel, Model 3 mods and accessories, so check that out. But yeah. Speaking of YouTube revenue, I checked today and we're at 55 you know what's. I don't know what you're saying. I'm assuming you mean CPM. That would be ridiculous. My CPM's at like 10. Computer tutorials. What's your opinion on places reopening? I think it's fine if there hasn't been any big increases in cases wearing masks are required. I don't know. I'm just a guy, but I think we need to. It would be nice to start opening, but man, we need to be ready to shut it off quickly. And yeah, I think everyone should be wearing masks because we know at this point you're breathing it out. Even if you're not coughing, you can be infected, not know it, breathe it out, infect other people. So, and it spreads fast. So, hello, Franklin. Welcome. Joe W. Locked at speed limit kind of sucks. Yeah, with the new SatLAS ability on divided road, you can still go up to 90. But non-divided roads, being stuck at the speed limit is terrible because people drive fast, man. Abraham Levy. Chris, you should really sell your Model 3 right now before used prices go down. I'd say you should think about that. Yeah, I don't care that much about that. Need AP launch mode. Yeah, autopilot launch mode. So it sees the green light when you're at the track. The green light, it goes instantly. You'd win every drag race. That'd be pretty boring. But you could win a lot of money. Michael Corden. I haven't watched hardly any of the videos showing the newest update. I am behind on my subscription feed. Is it cool? Michael, watch my video. It's the best of all of them. Just kidding. Everybody, I think I tested a lot of scenarios, but everybody tested things that other people didn't, which is cool because we're not all going to encounter all the stuff. So this is a nice update that you can watch everybody's videos and be learning something every time. Rainy guy thing. What is your opinion on the Niccola lawsuit? I don't know that much about it. That's what I'm going to say. But companies sue each other all the time. Not big of a deal. Oh, thank you, Isaac. Love my videos. Thank you so much, Isaac. I really appreciate that. When will you think AP rewrite to be over? Abraham, my guess, next 3 months. That's my guess. So by April, May, June, July, by August, rewrite will be out. I really hope. That I'm so excited for that. That's what I'm like most excited for over almost anything. Are you going to show us the car doing this? I have videos. Yeah. Oh, you're probably talking about slowing on the highway. Yeah, it's in my next video. Hopefully we'll be up tomorrow morning. I have to go edit it after this, and I have to wake up super early tomorrow. Where would Cybertruck wipers be? Wouldn't it totally change the design in the front? James, I don't know. They're going to have lasers. I have no idea, but they'll figure it out. I don't care that much about it. I mean, I care. I want to know, but all these things that people notice that are like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, what is Tesla going to do with this? And then Tesla's like, bam, we thought of it. We engineered it. It works. So that's really cool. I was using AP today on twisty country roads. This is satin gray Tesla. Car was coming up a steep blind hill and slowed down a third until it could see the coast was clear and went back to normal. Yeah, I've been noticing that for a few updates. The car now, if it's going up a hill, will begin to slow so that it can see what's on the other side. Great, awesome. A person would do that if they're not familiar with the area, so I think that's a great thing to do. Also, seeing Satin Gray Tesla, he probably wants me to shout out the subreddit. If you use Reddit, go to reddit.com/r/Dirty Tesla Club. That is my subreddit, and I try to get on there, but Satin Gray Tesla is mostly managing it for me, so I appreciate that. Fun place to post whatever you want. I have it set up to auto-post my videos there, but I'll talk to you if I see you there. Bye, Nick. Going to study. Franklin, rewrite happening already. My guess is release probably closer when all cars that eligible for upgrade are done. A lot of angry people otherwise. Yeah, Franklin, there's some angry people right now with hardware 2.5 who don't get sat lasts and they want it. Yeah, the rewrite is happening, of course, but I think it'll be public within the next 3 months or so. That's my guess. Who knows? Coronavirus messed up everything. Karema, with the lights and intersections, I personally have quickly gotten comfortable with the simple stock tap. Much better than tapping the accelerator, in my opinion. That is awesome to hear, Karema. I have not used it that much. I've been driving with my car every day since it came out, but my route to work honestly does not have all that many stop signs and stoplights. So I've been using it when I can, but not a lot. So I like it. I'm happy to use it. I will not turn it off at all. I heard a lot of people saying that. I think, like you said, they will get used to it. It's a bear. Chris, I have a friend who said he has a Model 3 try to merge into him on a highway. Do you know if this could be an autopilot issue or just a bad driver? There's no way I could give you the correct answer. I would guess probably the driver did it. I can't see autopilot doing a lane change into another car. Not saying it's impossible, but from my experience, I've done lane. You've seen this in a few of my videos. My car will start to lane change as a car comes up, and then my car bails on the lane change because it sees the car coming up. So having a car next to you, I don't see it. If I was there and saw it live, I could probably tell you just by the way the lane change was done if the person was driving. Very hard for me to believe autopilot would do that, but it's not impossible. Brian is late, but he's here. Hello, Brian. Cat Shepherd, I heard someone compare him to Trump for reopening. Yeah, who cares? That's, people just want to... I hate that. I really hate that you have to start like every political conversation with, I hate Trump, but, or else you get like thrown in jail. John B. Petulant, I think, is the word you're looking for. I don't know what you're referring to. Riley, the delay is, oh no, I lost my spot. Okay, here it is. The delay is a lot less than before, but I'm behind. So I agree, but I really do think that the data reflects we should open up. Well, sounds good. If that's true, I think we should too. Any more info on a real Tesla owners club from Michigan? Well, we were supposed to meet up and now we can't. So I've also kind of been lazy on that, Kurt, honestly, but I want it to happen. Riley, I also would like to say that I really hope that the rewrite allows for reverse summon, but I am somewhat skeptical of this being something by the end of the year. Reverse summon is going to be crazy. I don't see that for a while, being totally honest. John, have you seen data from Sweden? No lockdown whatsoever. It's not good. Yeah. It's hard. I keep putting that quote from the guy from the Bush era. Everything you do before a pandemic or during or whatever will seem alarmist, and everything you do after will seem inadequate. So, if we locked down the U.S. a month earlier, imagine the numbers. Imagine how many less people would have been affected. Imagine how many less people would have died. And people would have been screaming their heads off that we made the wrong decision. So it's a tough situation. So we all have to use masks but share bathroom at work. Joe, you have to wash your hands, man. People are already going to work. I'm going to work. If you can work from home, do it. Yeah, that's right. Who remembers the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship? You like that, Tai? Oh, man. Yeah, that was sweet. You guys didn't mind, so thank you. I'm saying that most of the economy shouldn't be shut down. Riley, I'm not. This is costing trillions of... It is. It's bad. It's bad. But you're putting the dollars versus the people dying, And again, I'll say it, people want to throw, only 0.1% of people. I don't know what it is. Let's say it's only 0.1% of people are dying. Okay, well, I don't want to be in that 0.1%. I don't want my parents to be in that 0.1%. I don't want my neighbors to be in that 0.1%. I am one person removed from a death from this. So nobody I know personally has died, but somebody I know, their friend died from this. So, it's sad. Yes, express your opinions here respectfully, and I don't mind. Do not buy the Cooler Master box you're telling me. Which one not to buy? All right, thank you. I won't. I wasn't looking at that one. Are you going to show your car stopping at stoplights? Not in this live stream. I can't. I've live streamed driving and it sucks. I really wish it was better, but I'm sorry, there's not much I can do. I have thought about bringing a computer with me and using that to live stream with my phone's hotspot because I can adjust the settings a lot more and the quality might be a lot better. So I may try that. People really need to get back to work. All right, I'm not going to spend too much on that. You guys can talk about it if you like. As long as you're not being jerks to each other, I don't mind if you go back and forth on that. But I'm going to kind of be done. You heard my thoughts. I like that you went on a rant there. You said exactly the right thing, and I go on accidental rants constantly. Also, he actually seemed to be talking about other companies and people more. Thank you again to Isaac. I just scrolled past that. $3.99 again. I really appreciate that. Feeding the baby. Brian, I'm definitely for places opening. Okay. Keep going. I don't mind, but Akil, will you be willing to give your car for Tesla Network? Like another person come and use your car? Heck, yes, I would do that. Yes, for sure, especially if it's built into the app. If they would release it in the app where I could drive the car for like Tesla whatever, I would do that right now. I really want to do that. So, sorry, I checked my watch. Oh, plug is finished charging. Great job. Didn't even have to mention it today. Oh, yeah, the subreddit. Okay, short video ad. Just interrupted you on live. Really? An ad? Live? That's pretty cool. Thanks for watching it. Because you watched it, give me like 0.001 cents. Subreddit went up 1 member. Whoever's here, nice job. Someone want to loan me $35K for Model 3? No. Steve, anyone notice that HVAC goes back to 70 degrees anytime profile goes to easy entry? Is that true? I've noticed it moves around, but I think easy entry has a setting and then your profile has a setting. So like if you have easy entry at 70 and then you start driving and you change it to 72, next time I'll go to 70. So next time you get in the car, change it before you do anything. I think that'll fix it for you. Mr. Car Crazy, anyone else have Bluetooth message sync not staying on? Yes, I do have that. And I don't text that much. I more use other apps like Hangouts. So I don't notice it. And I kind of don't want it on because if I'm recording, it'll be annoying to have to edit that out. But yeah. Nice, Kroby. Vibing in Australia. I love it. I wish I was there. Ooh, I'm almost caught up, everybody. I'll bring cookies. What's reverse summon? Reverse summon means auto park. Like you drive your car up to where you want to go, like the door of the grocery store, and then you walk out and it'll go drive through the parking lot and park itself. I don't know why they're calling it reverse summon. That doesn't make sense, but somebody tweeted that at Elon and he responded to that tweet. And so people have been calling it that. I call it auto park, but we have auto park is where it parks itself. I don't know. I call it auto park. Cool ideas for over-the-air upgrades. I suck at that. I'm not all that creative. Tortellini sending some little trees or something. Thank you so much. I'm not all that creative. You know, when I'm in a situation, maybe it'll spark something. But just sitting here drafting ideas, I'm not all that great with that. Over-the-air upgrades. I don't know. Drive me. Let me sleep while you drive. Yes. Imagine if we closed all the... Stop it. Riley. Just want to say I wasn't responding to you live. That's all right. You're good. You're good. Brian, I recently heard of a... yes, while we're at it. Stop. No, don't be sarcastic. Satin, Tesla should charge something like $5 monthly to get software updates faster. Literally everyone would do that. Do not do that. I would pay for it, but don't. Actually, Satin, it's pretty much... I don't know if I call it a fact, but it's pretty much proven that if you have the premium upgrade or the premium whatever software package, you get your software updates sooner. So they're kind of doing that. What do you use to stream on your phone? I use the YouTube app. Literally, I just go on the YouTube app. So you're insane. Ain't no fools driving my car. I don't care, man. They're paying me. If it makes my car free, what? I'll just buy another one. Duh. I've had 3 ads now. That is interesting. I can adjust some settings here. Interesting. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for letting me know you guys are seeing ads. I didn't know that. Still considering solar? Would you do Tesla solar roof? Is there enough sun in Michigan without wind augmentation? John B. What a great question. So we built our house. If you don't know, we built our house. We finished, I think we moved in a year and a half ago or so, maybe 2 years ago. When it was being built, I contacted Tesla about Tesla Solar, but they weren't in Michigan at the time, and they were not doing new construction. So I couldn't do it, but I wanted it. Now our roof is new. So Tesla Solar makes absolutely no sense on a new roof, but I do want solar panels. And Tesla does Tesla roof now, the Tesla Solar roof in Michigan, but they don't do solar panels. So I contacted another company, and I think they'll be here Friday to install my solar panels. So I'll be making a video about that. Akil says, great videos, love all the way from India. Thank you so much, Akil. I hope I said that right. I appreciate it. Would you invest in the stock market? Of course, you better invest in the stock market. That's like the most fun, stressful thing you can do. Yes. I invest in the stock market. M3 Tesla. Funny story. Today, I can't wait. While I was at red light, I hit the stock like 6 or 7 times to see if it would go through the red light and triggered cowbell Easter egg. That's funny. Yeah, it will not. It won't go through the red light. I wonder how many people are doing that, and Tesla's getting all these like, go, and it's not supposed to go. That's so funny. JSL, thanks, man. Great videos and very concise. Enjoy your natural 1.25x talking speed. Have a good night. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I talk fast. Some people, I've gotten complaints. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can't slow down, but it's okay. Tried all of that. 70-degree thing started with the latest update. I haven't noticed. That's interesting, though. Will they ever offer cool seats? JG. They have in the Model 3 and Model Y, probably not. But in the X and the S, they've had them. They've taken them away. They've given them back. They've taken them away. So if it comes back, I wouldn't be surprised. They need to keep, the S and X luxury cars. Cooled seats are awesome. The Model X loaner I got had cooled seats, and it was the first time I'd ever experienced it. It was winter and I was using those things, man. It felt really nice. Auto park, but better. Should call reverse summon. Go park yourself. All right, go park yourself mode. I will call it that. Smart auto park. Advanced auto park. Does your car make clicking noises under the steering column when stopping on tach? No, I don't think so. Yep, that's the brakes. I'm about 90% sure. I don't know. I haven't noticed clicking noises. I don't think so. Michael Corden, when you hit the stalk and the light is red, does it send a picture that humans at Tesla will review? I don't know. I don't know what they're getting, Michael. From my understanding, from the last talk from Karparthi, I don't know how to say his last name, but the head developer of Autopilot, he said that when they need training data, they request it from the fleet. So it doesn't sound like your car is doing all this stuff and just sending it to Tesla. I mean, that would be so much data. It sounds like they request scenarios from the cars, and the car will store stuff either for a short amount of time, or maybe they request it and then the car starts saving that stuff up, and then when you get home that night it'll send it. I don't know exactly the details, but it sounds like Tesla is like, all right, we want to train these. The example was stop signs. We want to train these partially covered stop signs. Give us all your things, cars that you think are stop signs. Carpathy, thank you so much. Carpathy, yeah, that is an ironic name. And then they swoop up all that stuff, and then they can train their stuff. So it's not like every time you hit it, it's getting sent to Tesla, from my understanding. I don't think anyone fully knows how this works. But yeah. Bluetooth keyboard support so you can Twitch and comment. Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. You want that in an over-the-air update. Use Streamlabs app. There's a Streamlabs app? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. I got one ad. I've had 0 ads. Nobody wants to advertise to me. They know better. That's interesting. It's interesting that some people are getting ads and others aren't, but okay. Do you think we'll have highway-only full self-driving soon? You know what, computer? I think we're only not there on a technicality, because, I mean, the car's not perfect, but man, I have so many days where I do nothing and it does everything. I need to catch up. We're gonna be done pretty soon, guys. Don't all X out. I'm not done, but I'm just warning you a couple more minutes because I need to go edit this next video. I would never let somebody else drive my car. They would treat it as well as I do. That's a bad idea. Well, that's the thing, Tortellini, is they're not driving it. It's when my car is fully self-driving, it goes and picks them up. And they just get in, and it drives them wherever they want, and they get out. There's even a camera built into the car monitoring them. So if they do anything stupid, it's on camera. Solution to Chris talking fast, just switch YouTube to 0.75x. Talk slower than hyperchange. Yeah, he's pretty fast. Galley talks pretty fast. I still turn him up to, I think, 1.5x though. Heated and cooled seats are awesome. Some cars even have them in the cup holders. That's cool. Second great Tesla, I don't use easy entry. I feel like moving the steering wheel and seat all the time is going to break something. Yeah, I've heard that, and that's partially why I set it up, because I wanted to prove people wrong. So I almost hit a stupid opossum last night. P3D brakes for the win. Oh, good job stopping. Autopilot didn't detect it. You should have clicked saved the clip and uploaded it to YouTube and said, "Oh, Autopilot stopped for this thing." It would have been posted all over the news, even though it was a lie. Rohan, my friend in molecular bio got excited when he heard molecular bio graduates earn well enough to buy Teslas. Oh yes, Rohan, if he wants to talk to me, tell him to DM me. Depends on what you do. You know what? A lot of people can afford things they wouldn't think they could. It depends on how much you spend, not how much you make, all right? Just tell them that. And get into a startup, a biotech startup. It's very hard to get into, but once you get into it, there's a lot of potential. What if they fart in your seat? Well, that would suck. I love how often you upload your recording history. Thank you, Michael. I try. So some drunk from the bar could get in and puking in it. No thanks. True that, drunk puke? Yeah, they could, but you know what? I'm getting paid, so I will get it cleaned. Okay, I am ending it here. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate all this back and forth. It's so fun to talk to y'all. I'm going to try to upload this video tomorrow, so look out for it. It's more SATLAS, stopping at traffic lights and stop signs ability video. I had a lot of fun, and DM me if you have any more questions, and I will see you guys later. I hate that even the 9-second delay, I can't see anyone saying bye, but I will see you saying bye when I turn off the stream. Jay Leno just shot a video on the Cybertruck. Yeah, sweet. All right, have a good night, everybody. See ya.